Hello, hello. Hope you're all doing well out there, everybody. It's great to be back with you for another live from home. This is number 45, I believe. All right, there we go, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. It's great to be back with you for another live stream. It's been a minute. It's been about a month since my last stream. I've been out on the road playing some shows for the first time in a long while, which has been wonderful. Nice to see people tuning in from all over the place. We've got the Philippines, Canada, Western Australia, Germany, Seattle, Pennsylvania, Detroit, Algeria. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Madison, great show in Madison. Glad you were there, Robert. I've been out with Tommy Emmanuel playing some shows, which is a great thrill. He has inspired me ever since I first heard him when I was 11 years old. And he's still just such an incredible performer and really sets the bar about as high as anyone for my money. And so... Upstate New York, Maryland, Netherlands, Playa del Carmen, Charlotte, North Carolina, Brazil, Sydney, Australia. Well, here's a little bit of a new composition I've been working on. I'm still trying to finalize the arrangement. It's called The Rush, and I posted a little sample of it this week. I'm going to play it for you now. Hope you enjoy it. There we go. All right. Austin, Texas. Got to know that Chet is smiling, says Michael. South Africa. Adrian's watching from Sydney. Well, this next song is one that I wrote with a good friend of mine, one of my favorite collaborators, Mr. Brent Mayer. And I believe Brent is watching the stream. I sent him the link just a little bit before I started. So this is a song we wrote called The Prize. It's going to be on an upcoming release. Hope you enjoy it. A one, a two, a one, two. I had a one-way conversation with me, myself, and I about the way we've been living. Can't imagine why. To get to where we're going, it's a cloudy compromise. You're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. Maybe I've been distracted, quite possibly alright. This big old bright and shiny world has kept me up at night. We all know that price tag shouldn't come as no surprise. You're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. Some days I live with no regrets. Some days I just as soon forget. Some days a diamond, some are stone. Some things I just as soon leave alone. So where does all this leave me? I can't really say I know. I got more questions than answers, quite a ways to go. I can't let that deter me. This I realize. You're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. Some days I live with no regrets. Some days I just as soon forget. Some days a diamond, some a stone. Some things I just as soon leave alone. I had a one-way conversation with me, myself, and I about the way we've been living. Can't imagine why. To get to where we're going, it's a cloudy compromise. You're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. My eyes off the prize. My eyes off the prize. All right. We're off to a good start. I'm having a good time, everybody. Thanks for being with us. I'm going to switch over to a little electric guitar here. I got my old Telecaster here. Plug her in. Hi from Newcastle, Georgia, Maryland, Illinois. I know this is an awkward time for people in Europe because it's quite late over there. But I know it's mid-morning in Australia, so nice to know some folks down in Oz tuning in. See, we got some sound here. There we go. Here's a bit of Misty. G'day Claire, my little sister's watching from Brisbane, Australia. She's an absolute legend. I wish you were here to play bass with me, Claire. All right, let me know if it's sounding okay out there, everybody. It's been a few weeks since I've streamed, so hopefully all my settings are okay. I want to say thank you to anybody who's tuning in and anybody who's shared the stream, especially over there on Facebook. You can just hit the share button and you can share it with all your friends if you like the music and want to spread it around. And thank you also to anybody who has contributed to the virtual tip jar. The way I do these shows is I have a tip jar set up, and the link is in the description of the video or in the chat. You just click on it. It's joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR, and we have a virtual swiper. When I play live concerts, you know, I always am out there hustling my CDs and vinyl LPs, and I say, if you didn't bring any cash, we've got a swiper. Well, unfortunately, during these streams, we don't take cash, but we do take we have a virtual swiper. So anyone that enjoys the music and wants to contribute to the virtual tip jar, it is very much appreciated. So thank you in advance. This song's called Mindless. 1, 2, 3. All day long there's a voice in my head saying who I am, what's up next. And I listen to the endless chatter, knowing it's never gonna matter. Just when I get to your door and I step into the world waiting for me and you, nothing we need to do or say to be swept away. Mindless, mindless with you, timeless, place you take me to, when nothing can reach us, nothing can keep us from the love we melt into. When I get mindless, mindless with you. Know how to flip the switch off, power down the program and get lost. And I love the way the silence speaks, telling me all I'm ever gonna need is to be mindless, mindless with you, and timeless, place you take me to. Nothing can reach us, nothing can keep us from the love we melt into. When I get mindless, mindless with you. my new favorite lick.
Mindless, mindless with you, timeless place you take me to, when nothing can reach us, nothing can keep us from the love we melt into. When I get mindless, when I get mindless, I get mindless, mindless with you. And there we have it.
I feel like I shouldn't be having too much fun. That ain't right. Thanks for listening, everybody, and thanks for enjoying it. I also wanted to mention that my course, Joe's 12, which I think is the educational product that I've created that I'm the most proud of. I think it really is a powerful program. I always joke it's a 12-step program. It's on sale this month for 50% off. So if you're interested in signing up to Joe's 12, now's a great time to do that. The link is on my website. You go to joerobinson.com/courses, and you can see the different courses I have all laid out there. And Joe's 12 is definitely the broadest of the different courses I have. You know, I have specific fingerstyle courses and specific courses for improvising on an electric guitar, for example. But Joe's 12 really is very broad. So it covers everything from songwriting to practicing to, touring, developing a show. And I interviewed a lot of my mentors and friends, including some really legendary people. So it really changed my life creating this course, and I've had just such incredibly moving feedback from people who've gone through it. It's a 12-week program, so you just watch one video a week for 12 weeks, and there's tab and exercises and resources in there, and each video goes for 90 minutes, and it's kind of it's a really entertaining journey, as well as I think you can expect to find some very interesting information there if you're a guitar player or guitar fan, guitar enthusiast. So check out Joe's 12. 50% off this month. Guess it's a back to school special. Michael says, your technique is impeccable. I really appreciate that. Josh says, is Mindless an original JR tune? Yes, it is. It's off my Undertones album. Jim says, 12 steps will get me to playing like you. I'm in. Great. Linda asked for Summertime. That's a good idea. I made a video of Summertime recently. I haven't really thought about how I would play it live, but I can just make something up. It's a great song. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings, and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you. With daddy and mommy standing by.
There we go. Thanks for the request, Linda. Jan says, perfect for a hot, humid August night. Absolutely. And then Sue says, best way to spend another Sunday in lockdown. I think you're in Sydney there, but there's a little Australian flag there. Well, in Australia at least. So there we go. Mike says, I'll see you in my dreams. I can play that, absolutely. Played this with Tommy Emmanuel when we were on tour last week. Really good fun. I'll show you the intro.
Lonely days are long, twilight sings a song of the happiness that used to be. And soon my eyes will close, soon I'll find repose, and in my dreams you're always near to me. I'll see you in my dreams, hold you in my dreams. Someone took you out of my arms, still I feel the thrill of your charms, lips that once were mine. Tender eyes that shine, they will light my way tonight. I'll see you in my dreams.
Here's another great tune.
I found my love in Avalon, beside the bay. I left my love in Avalon and sailed away. Dream of her in Avalon from dusk till dawn. So I think I'll travel on to Avalon.
There we go. That's Avalon. You know, I love that version on the Chester and Lester album with Chet Atkins and Les Paul. Watching from Western Australia, still in my jammies. Great. I was hoping, we could have some folks from Australia tune in. I'm going to switch on back to the electric guitar here. Hope you all are enjoying the show. For anyone that's just tuning in, we have a virtual tip jar set up, and the tip jar is a wonderful way for anyone who feels like buying a virtual ticket to the show. You can do that via the tip jar. It's optional. It's very much appreciated. The link is joerobinson.com/tip jar. It should be in the video description or in the chat. And, when I play a live show, I'm always selling CDs and selling LPs. And you can also buy those on my website if you'd like to buy some music. But if you'd just like to contribute, the tip jar is a great way to do that. And it's very easy. You just press the link and put in your email address, and we won't email you or anything. But you can just select the amount you'd like to tip, and it's as easy as that. So thank you in advance to anybody who feels like they want to do that. Now I've got to figure out what to play next. I think I'm going to play a little bit of Beatles music. And this is a tune I really enjoyed arranging. I don't know of any other guitar arrangements of this piece. It's hard to find a Beatles song that doesn't have a lot of guitar arrangements. This is Across the Universe in the original key. Here we go. Isn't that a beautiful song? It's all about chords and a melody for me. Well, during this stream, I wanted it to be kind of mostly a concert, but I also wanted to open up to any questions about guitar playing, music, practicing, things like that. So if anyone has any specific questions for me, I know I have a lot of people that follow me that are players, and I love sharing my passion for the instrument with anybody out there who is on a similar quest, a journey of trying to find more ways to be expressive and new sounds and new songs out of these same old 6 strings. So if anyone out there has some questions, fire away. Carl has a question. The telly is sweet. What pickups are in it? Just the standard pickups. I'm planning on replacing them with pickups made by Ron Ellis when I can. I talked to Ron, and he's going to be winding me some, but I haven't got them yet. So I'm just using the telly with a little Fender Champ in the other room, and I have a little delay pedal and overdrive. Pretty simple. And the main acoustic guitar I use is, of course, my Maiden. And this has been my main guitar for about 10 years. It's made with Tasmanian myrtle back and sides, which is a beautiful tone wood from Australia, and it's actually not a member of the myrtle family. It's actually a beech wood, B-E-E-C-H. So that's a fun little bit of trivia. I'm not sure if you can see on the neck how worn down it is, but I've just about worn the finish off. This is a mahogany neck, and I got to play a 1958 or 59 Les Paul in at Carter Vintage Guitars. I went and did some demos for them, and I played this, Les Paul was a burst. It's worth about, I think, $280,000. Incredibly rare and expensive guitar, and the neck felt just like my acoustic guitar. And I laughed because Andy Allen, who's the Maiden Guitars custom shop builder, he is a big Les Paul fan. The guitars that is, and he's a real rock and roller. And I picked it up and I was like, wow, I can really feel how that's influenced Andy's building of these Maiden guitars, because these guitars are so easy to play, and I really love them. So Michael says, what is the best way to learn Nashville fingerpicking? That's a good question, and there's lots of different ways to approach fingerstyle guitar playing and fingerpicking. And I would say that, there's a lot of players in Nashville that play that way. Chet Atkins was kind of the pioneer. But I think of fingerstyle guitar as something that goes from James Taylor, the more folk, singer-songwriter end, all the way to like people like Martin Taylor and Joe Pass on the jazz end, and people like Tommy Emmanuel, who play a lot of just beautiful melodic songs. And I think I belong somewhere in that same realm. I love playing just nice music. The best way to approach that, I think, is in the method that I laid out in my fingerstyle courses, which have been a big smash hit. We've had thousands of people sign up for those. So I'm just so thrilled that I can give people a window into how to play fingerstyle guitar. There's a beginner, intermediate, and advanced course, and I think they're on sale right now for about $20 each. So that's a good place to check out a really condensed, organized curriculum for learning to play fingerstyle guitar. I personally find that if you try to learn more folk-influenced songs to begin with, and more blues-influenced songs, the form is not as exact as songs that were arranged by people like Chet Atkins, and even some Beatles songs, which have a very exact, combination of finger movements. So the way Chet used to arrange songs is he would have a bass pattern go like this, which is 5/4, 5/4, 6/4. So that's what the thumb's doing. And I use a thumb pick. You don't have to use a thumb pick. That's what it sounds like with the thumb pick. If you play it with just the thumb, it sounds like that. Pretty much the same, just a little bit, just not quite as bright. And then you add a melody. Well, first you can add a little roll. Just a 2-note roll. One chord, move to different chords. And then you can add a melody. the important thing to convey is every step of that journey is really hard. It really takes a while to get the mechanics down, and it's really important to just take it one bite-sized chunk at a time and be patient. I remember just struggling with it for a long while. And music is just such an incredible thing to be able to play songs you love and to be able to, pick up a guitar, which is the kind of instrument you can throw in the back seat and carry to a party and carry everywhere with you, and just always have music and songs to share. So I really encourage anyone out there who's interested in learning to play to go ahead and do it, because music's something you have your whole life. So I'm trying to keep up with the comments here. Kevin says, you have incredible stamina when you're playing and performing. What tips can you offer for getting oneself to a higher level of energy maintenance? That's a really good question. Well, I think the more experience I've had playing and performing, the more relaxed I can be. And the more relaxed I can be, the more fun I can have. And the more fun I can have, the more energy that comes across. So I think it comes down to being comfortable and being relaxed. And, things you want to avoid are things like holding your breath when you play. If you hold your breath when you play, you're going to kind of just get tighter and tense up. So when I'm practicing, and this is, I think, the foundational principle for developing good guitar technique, is staying relaxed. So training the left hand especially to be really relaxed when you're playing all these complicated things, and the right hand also just to be as relaxed as you can. And so another great tip for performing and practicing performing is to practice in front of a mirror. And so when you practice in front of a mirror, you're not just looking at your hands all the time. Your neck just doesn't get stuck. You kind of get cell phone neck, like we all have. But if you look forward, that becomes, you become physically able to look forward when you're performing, and that just kind of breaks the habit of staring at your hands all the time. So that's another good tip. And I think it really comes down to really preparing, practicing your songs before you play them over and over again. When I play a new song on stage for the first time, I mess it up about 6 or 8 times before I can do it correctly, play it without any major mistakes. And so it really takes some refining to get a song to performance level. But once it's there, it's a matter of trying not to think and just letting the muscle memory of the hands do the work. And, all the great musicians I know will say the same thing. They really try to just get super relaxed before they play, because, if you're not relaxed, then it's difficult to play with freedom. So I think that's the key for energy maintenance to me, as well as, I eat real healthy food. I feel like, if I start eating not well, like a lot of sugar, and it starts to make me not feel good. So anyway, Jan says, you make it look so easy, but it's not. Yes, it's not. I put a video out on YouTube called How to Make the Guitar Look Easy. And, people make that comment all the time. You make it look so easy. I always reply with that video. Like, this is what it takes. And it's all about staying relaxed. Because if you can stay relaxed, then you can play with speed, and you can play with dynamic variety, which is a big, big, big deal. Being able to play loud and soft on the guitar. A lot of people kind of skip over that. And, one of the biggest critiques I have of people, I have a teaching channel called Guitar Synergy, where people will post videos of themselves, and I'll listen and make a suggestion and suggest songs to learn, for example. And one of the biggest things that I like to just point out and suggest is practicing the dynamic control, like having the melody notes really loud and clear and the bass notes really soft, and having the bass notes come through real strong and the melody notes just kind of, or the little roll up top be soft, and just having all this dynamic movement within an arrangement. It really just helps breathe life into the song. And it's difficult to do that when you're it's difficult to do that and stay in time and have a good, really, really good groove. But timing and dynamics and tone, a big part of the game, as well as repertoire, having good songs and having good pieces to learn and play. Mike says, I purchased tickets for your performance at the Arts in Chattanooga. Have you played there before? I have not played the arts in Chattanooga, but I've played at Songbirds before, which is a guitar museum. And I understand that Songbirds closed, but they're opening back up, and the people that run Songbirds are organizing this show for me in Chattanooga at the Arts, which is in September, I believe. So that's going to be a great show. All my tour dates, by the way, to anybody here in the US, are on my website. I'm mostly on tour with Tommy Emmanuel this fall, and we've had shows on the books for 2 years that have been cancelled and rescheduled, in some cases 6 or 8 times. So it's been a real kind of a bit of a roller coaster, thinking we're going to go out and play and then not. But we've been having shows, and we're back at it. So there you go. I'm just reading some comments there. I keep an eye on the number of people watching these streams, and if I start losing people, then I'll shut up and play a song. But I'm getting more people when I talk, so there you go. Joseph says, I'm getting ready to begin your intermediate fingerstyle course. Great. I hope you enjoy it. And with the Udemy courses, the fingerstyle courses, beginner, medium, and beginner, intermediate, and advanced, I answer all the questions that people submit. So if you have any questions when you're going through the materials, you can reach out to me, and I can suggest something if you're having an issue. What kind of chair do you sit in when playing? That's a good question. I actually prefer not to sit when I'm playing. When I practice, I usually walk around, and my favorite place to practice is outside in the mornings. And I put the guitar strap on, and I'll walk around and just play, and really just try to be relaxed and play a tune I'm working on over and over again. And I'll have a metronome close by, and I'll play along with the metronome. My favorite way to work with a metronome is with the click on 2 and 4. So I'll get the click going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll start playing whatever song I'm working on. And this chair is a piano bench that I'm sitting on that I use to record videos. It's kind of easier filming videos with a chair because all the camera angles can stay the same, and I'm not moving the neck up and down, which I tend to do when I stand up. And this chair is okay, but it does squeak a little bit, which bothers me. So maybe I'll replace it at some point. But generally you want a chair without arms if you're going to play guitar. Okay. Does your style of playing require you to control modes perfectly? That's a very interesting question. I do think in terms of modes, and I do think in terms of scales, and I do think it's really great to know all the notes on the fingerboard and know the basic scales, especially the major scale and the minor scale, which actually have all the modes. You can cover all the modes with just a major scale. But having a good theoretical understanding of the guitar is, I think, really helpful. You don't need to be a scholar, and people who study jazz certainly, have a very advanced level of music theory knowledge. But I think it depends on what your goal is. For me, the goal is to play great songs and create interesting arrangements. A lot of my favorite music to listen to is not particularly complicated, but it has a lot of passion and a lot of soul and a lot of expressive, virtuosity in most cases. So I like to create that with my music, and I use the theory knowledge I do have to just hopefully make that easier. Kevin says, will you and Tommy make it out to San Francisco this year? No, but I have a date in San Francisco penciled in for in March at the Herbst Theater, which is a big 800-seat room in the middle of San Francisco. So I'm very much looking forward to being out there again. Okay. Time to play another song. This was requested by Patty, who's over on my Patreon page. G'day, Patty. I believe you're up there in New Jersey. So this is an arrangement of a beautiful song called Affirmation that was written by Jose Feliciano and recorded by George Benson on his 1976 album Breezin'. and I love playing it. It's just a great song. So here we go. Wish Me Luck. It's difficult to play. One, two, three. There we go, Affirmation. Patty says, I request Affirmation because I love your rendition, but I also enjoy your expressions of joy as you play it. That's a really lovely comment. Thank you. I'm glad that comes across because I love playing music, and that's a particularly fun arrangement to play. To me, that's what it all comes down to. I remember I was on the road with one of my heroes, Robin Ford, a few years back, and I'm not sure I've met a lot of people who love music as much as Robin. He had a little Bluetooth speaker on the bus, on the tour bus, and he would just always be listening to music of people like John Coltrane and Pharoah Sanders. And he was listening to something, and he's like, check this out, Joe. And he played it, and I was like, wow, that's really beautiful. I said, it sounds so sad. And it was John Coltrane playing a ballad. And he said, no, man. He said, this is joy. This is joyful music. He said, that's the thing about the blues, is people think it's about sadness and about expressing sorrow, but it's actually really about joy, about saying, okay, these are our circumstances. They might not be great, You're trying to keep us oppressed. We're gonna have a good time and play music, and that's our form of rebellion. That's kind of one take on where the blues came from. And the more I think about that, the more I just feel that all my favorite music is an expression of joy. And there's a lot of great music that is comfort music, music to soothe the soul when we feel down and whatnot. And that has a joyful element too. But yeah, we're all hypnotized by this thing called music. It's really an interesting experience going to a concert and watching someone perform who's really magnetic. Like Rodney Crowell, when I've been around him, people hang on every word, every single lyric. He's one of the greatest lyricists I've ever heard. He's on the level of Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen, if you ask me. And Tommy Emmanuel, the same thing. It's just, it's such a beautiful expression of joy. And you have to love it in order to get anywhere on this instrument. So yeah, that's something I think about a lot, because it's easy to get caught up in, everything that goes around music, posting enough videos on social media, etc. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the music. Thank you to anybody who's contributed to the tip jar. The tip jar link is joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR. And anyone who enjoys the music and feels compelled to send a little tip, however small or large, is very, very much appreciated. And I want to thank you all for tuning into these streams and enjoying the music. I won't be streaming next week because I'll be on the road. I have concerts in Duluth, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Green Bay, Wisconsin, and there's a variety of shows coming up. You can check all the dates on my website. In fact, why don't I pull up my calendar and just list them off just in case, just so you don't have to go Googling. Yeah, Milwaukee, Green Bay, Minneapolis, and Duluth this weekend. In September, I'm in Chattanooga, Louisville, Tennessee. And then in October, I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan, St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, Memphis, Tennessee. We're playing at Graceland. That's going to be fun. And in December, I'm in Canada with Tommy, and we're playing in Sherbrooke, Quebec, Toronto area, Ottawa, Victoria, British Columbia, Vancouver, British Columbia, Edmonton, Alberta, and Calgary, Alberta. And that's pretty much all the gigs for me this year. So it's nice to be back out on the road, and I'm continue doing live streams periodically. And I want it to be special when I do them. I don't want to do them just to do them. So it's been a special evening playing music for you all. Hope you all take good care out there and have a nice rest of your weekend. Thank you very much for tuning in. Just a reminder, Joe's 12 is on sale, 50% off this month. And to anyone who contributes to the tip jar, thank you so much. I probably should play a little music to go out with. So I'll play a little bit of joyful music for you. Kevin says, tips ahoy, enjoy the day. Thank you, Kevin. I like that, tips ahoy. we go. Thank you, Linda, David, Jim, Kevin, Robin, Leanne, Paolo, Michael, Emily, Stuart, Josh, Jeff, Tran, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, Jerry, Elizabeth. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye-bye now.